So here's the first thing I would say. I believe that all marketing is vibration. It's vibrational in nature. And that we send frequencies out through our brand, through our messaging, into the world. And those people with receptors for that frequency hear it and align with us. And that's actually the holy nature of client and service provider coming together. So if that's true, then the question is, how do we come up with a brand, a place on the web that is most vibrationally congruent with who we are? So that when we send our message out and send our branding out, that the people that are waiting to receive who we are know it and see it, and that something rings true in them such that they respond with ease. I don't know many people in the world that do branding from that perspective, that really even understand that to begin with, let alone having a broad enough tool set to be able to access what that information really is. And my experience with you so far, Sabine, is that your soul purpose branding process brings us in, first and foremost, into the essence of our soul and mines out the minerals, the juiciness, the frequency of that information, so that we can then, that's sort of side A or step one. And step two, then moving into the strategic aspect of really asking the hardcore business questions of what matters in this world, what do people respond to, because there's a lot of brands I see out there that are like very woo-woo, airy-fairy, and it might be really true about them, but I believe we must speak to those we're here to serve in their language, not just in ours. It's an act of service to do so. And so this second step of really translating that soul information into the congruent language here on earth, nuts and bolts, business reality, that people can hear, understand, go, oh yeah, that's what I've been looking to, and respond to, and really engage in your brand, so that you can both lead a movement and build a successful business. That's where I really see those two things coming together. And what I love about you and your process and your work is I feel like you have both sides of those. You definitely have this side A or step one of going into the richness of someone's soul to really understand that, and your depth of love and empathy with someone's soul is so palpable. It's really beautiful. And you also have the strategic business experience to understand effective branding in the world and how to position on the web. And that is equally necessary. And so as I'm working with you, the thing I'm appreciating is the coming together of these two seemingly disparate worlds into one congruent brand that can stick with me throughout my lifetime and serve my soul's purpose in the highest order possible. What we're attempting to do at this point in history is actually bring purpose and business together.
Yes.
And not like purposeful business, but really one fabric, where purpose and business are woven intricately into one thing. And this is the first time in history we're doing that en masse. This is the first time in history we have enough resources and enough technology such that work is no longer utilitarian, right? That work, for the most part, we don't need it just to feed ourselves. Like, for the most part, that's kind of handled for a large part of industrialized world. And of course, there's questions we have to ask as an industrialized world about why isn't it a no-brainer for everyone on the planet? And as that becomes the norm, and we no longer have to just work for work's sake, then the question becomes ubiquitous: what is work for? And therefore, what is my life for? And if we do this as an entrepreneur, we ask, what is my business for? What's the higher calling of my business in this world? And that becomes the question that must be answered, not just to have a successful business, but to actually be a thought leader in this world, to lead this movement into a purposeful planet. And you're a big part of that. And you know that.
I know that, yes. And I've prepared myself for lifetimes, right? To
Yes,
be of service
exactly.
in this way. Not just for
Many
this
of us
one.
have.
Lifetimes.
Right.